Emerald, thank you so much for joining us, Real Talk with Chuck and Pam, to talk about this incredible new film, Saltburn. You know, with Promising Young Woman, you tackled some pretty tough subjects, and now with Saltburn, you're taking on a lot of issues, but let's talk about class system. And you have Oliver, played by Barry Keoghan, and what an incredible performance. What was it about him that you thought would be perfect to play this role about this classist system?
Well, I'd seen Barry in The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and I just thought it was the most mesmerizing performance. It's one of those performances that just stops you in your tracks immediately when you see him. And so I followed his career for a while now, and when it came to Oliver, you know, he's the center of our movie. He's the kind of emotional heart of the movie, and it needed somebody who could be incredibly vulnerable and somebody that we like inherently sympathized with, but also somebody who had a kind of compelling, sexy, kind of dark charisma too. And so, yeah, I called to meet with him, and the moment I met him, I just thought, oh, this is Oliver.
I can't imagine anyone else playing that role.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, Saltburn is the name of the estate where most of the action takes place. Yeah. Beautiful. You know, in most films, these estates are seen as, you know, like an oasis. And here it's distinctly different. And I noticed you shot in the old aspect ratio, the more square. Are you suggesting that wealth is a prison of some sort?
Gosh, I mean, I think that really what we wanted to look at was a place that kind of had stood still in time. These places like Oxford and Saltburn, the estate, they tend to be completely timeless. And so there's something very fun about then having the humans living inside these places. And a lot of our work was done to actually humanize them, to give them Livestrong bracelets and set it in 2006 and have them sing Flow Riders Low on karaoke and be watching Superbad in the Ring. It's a kind of, a lot of the work that we did was to make it feel both unreal and very real at the same time. And when it came to, you know, choosing 1:3:3 as our aspect ratio, it was that the house itself is very tall and square, and a lot of the references that me and Linus were looking at, the amazing cinematographer, were more portraits than landscapes. You know, we were looking at Caravaggio, we were looking at Joshua Reynolds and Gainsborough, and the more and more we shot test footage, the more we felt like that aspect ratio. It also means you can go incredibly close.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about a place that is incredibly beautiful and in many ways very artificial, you have to kind of focus, I think, on detail to make it feel real. And that's just the same when you're looking at people's faces.
Sure.
If you're going to go in, I want to see pores and stubble rash and taste buds. And that's what that ratio gives you. It gives you total and utter immersion. And so it was, yeah, every day we were glad that we'd chosen 1:3:3.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch gears a little bit, and Rosamund Pike and Richard Grant play Felix's parents. And wow, do you punctuate, accentuate the whole British stiff upper lip kind of humor? Can you tell me about bringing that aspect into this sometimes very dark film?
Well, I mean, to me, this is absolutely a dark comedy. It's, an old-fashioned comedy of manners, and it's sort of living in that very, very British tradition. And so it made sense that part of, if this is a film about like weaponized charm and how the powerful are able to do that, how they seduce us, then of course part of that, a huge part of that, is their sense of humor. Because of course the thing that you don't anticipate from people like this is that they're, self-aware up to a point, and I should say very, very much up to a point, but they are deliciously savage. They're deliciously cruel in a way that we all want to become part of. And so it needed people like Richard E. Grant and Archie, who plays Farley too, and Rosamund, who would seduce us with their kind of cruel wit. And so, it's always an exercise in balancing tone. And for me, I think the movie is its funniest when it's cruelest and most wicked.
And there's some wicked stuff.
Emerald Fennell, Saltburn, coming out November 24th. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.